My last name is Strange. No, literally, my last name is Strange. Name that fit me like a box. No wonder I've always had such a hard time fitting in to social circles. Friendships have always felt foreign. I operate an awkward like an art form. I search for the right words, but my tongue has two left feet. The syllables stumble like sprained ankles falling on the dance floor of my voice box, unable to keep up with the rhythm of normalcy. I search for the right clothes, but settle for the cheap security blanket of my sarcasm in a world of cold shoulders as my cowardly spine hides itself in the cage of my ribs after years of bending over backwards for those who've turned their backs on me. My smile is armor. The mask my hurt wears like thick skin to friends. I seem to be the cardboard tube wrapped in white sheets. They strip the only pieces of me they think are valuable, use me up and flush, tossing the empty shell that is left of me into trash heaps where I pray to be recycled and try to look composed while I am decomposing down in the dumps. People will make you feel like garbage. Have you been there? Have you laid awake? 3 a.m. as evening shadows taunt you from the claustrophobic walls of your bedroom, a place where desperate prayers are laid to rest. In the tear-soaked coffin of your pillow, have you felt the noose of life constricting your jaw like a knot in your throat? Have you closed your eyes as suicide tries to convince you it's your only savior? It isn't, because suicide asks you to die, but a real savior comes and dies for you. Jesus knows what it's like to be doing everything right and still be surrounded by cackling jackals who never love you, they just love what you could give them. Knows what it's like to have people call you only when they need something to hand. An ungrateful world, the sweat off your brow and the skin off your back, and be told that your best still ain't good enough. To be condescended by eyes like solar eclipses and talked down to by gossip-hued lips of church people too bougie to share their pew, a platform with you. Jesus knows what it's like to be despised and unesteemed, the man of sorrows burdened with a heavy weight of grief, the light of the world planted his nail-pierced feet in the very darkness we stand in. Rejection, alone and abandoned, friends asleep. Jesus bows his knees, pleading with the Father, bleeding a Katrina of anguished love, thinking for the levy of his skin. Judas turns him in, Peter turns his back. Christ looks to the crowd for compassion, but they ask for Barabbas, shamed and naked, spit-stained faces. The crowd was laughing at his lashes, arms of the word open like book full of death sentences read as guilty though not red-handed, hung between crooks, but the only thing he took was the wages of our sin. Yet strangely, grace gurgles from the blood-filled throat of the broken Savior, choking in prayer. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Jesus, even while hanging from a tree, never let the root of bitterness stretch its limbs on the soil of his heart. When they plucked his beard like weeds, he turned his other cheek, stood silent as a sheep as people heaped insults on his head instead of worship at his feet, walked extra miles with those he knew would never walk with him, and invested his heart in those he knew wouldn't see him as the door but would treat him like a doormat. Sticks and stones could have broken his bones, but he chose to save a broken world by hanging from their sticks and rolling back the stone, because Jesus came to win souls, not a popularity contest. Jesus was strange. Stone rejected by men but chosen by God. I am strange. May not have many friends, but I have a blood brother I never have to pretend with. I'm accepted, no exception. And losing some friends was worth gaining redemption. Be encouraged. Rejection may hurt, but Jesus is worth it. I'm learning that loving people deserves our investment despite its rate of return. When you feel alienated, remember you are not of this world. These earthlings may burn you, but the purpose of fire is to make you like the sun. So be light, shine for his name. We're called to be